Hello and welcome to the show. Today's episode is going to be a random episode where I'm rambling about all kinds of things. First off, apologies for the noise in the background. And that's because I'm not in the audio booth. And to be honest, even when I'm in the house, I don't think I'm going to set up the audio booth anymore because, after we moved, I don't know, the stress of just trying to set up the audio booth, make sure, all the sound is completely silent and all that. Sometimes it's a hassle that just makes me not want to record, to be honest. So it's easier for me to just whip out the phone and then just make the recording. So today's episode is going to be a random episode, and that means I'm going to be talking about all kinds of things. Because it's something that I went through earlier in the day that got me thinking about referrals, about prospecting, and about handling age objections. So I'm just going to be rambling about those sorts of things. But anyway, if this is your first time of listening to the podcast, then you probably don't know what those terms mean. So let me just go ahead and define them real quick. Now, referrals is basically a referral is when somebody hooks you up. When somebody gives you the hookup. Oh, sorry, one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Someone was at the door. But anyway, like I said, today's going to be one of those noisy episodes. So I was in the middle of defining what a referral is. And referral just means a hookup, basically. So if somebody's trying to hook you up in a business context, we call that a referral. So if you're looking for customers and you tell, your friend that, look, guy, I just started a business, blah, blah, blah. Can you introduce me to so, and so? He might be a good client for me. And the person says, no, wahala, I got you. And then they introduce you to that person. That is a referral. That's a hookup. In this case, my sister-in-law is the one who made the referral because I was looking for collaborators for a TV show that I have coming up. And anyway, let me not go into the story yet. But basically, that's just what a referral is. If somebody tries to hook you up in business, it's a referral. So if I send a customer to you because you and me are cool, it's a referral. If I'm happy with somebody's service and I send my wife to go and call that person, that's a referral. If you ask a client of yours who really likes you, you guys have been doing business for a long time, you want them to pass along other people to you to be customers as well, that is a referral. Then another word that I used was prospecting. If you're new to the show, you don't know what that means. Now, prospecting just means the act of thinking, or rather the strategy involved in thinking, who is the person that might be interested in my product or my service or this thing that I'm working on, who might be interested, where do those people hang out, where can I find them? How do I start the conversation? And how do I get them on board? So that is what prospecting means. So if you are a caterer, prospecting means you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, who might be interested in ordering my services to cater for their wedding, to cater for their party? Who is looking for jollof rice? Who's looking for amala? Who's looking for continental dishes? Who's looking for XYZ? So as a caterer, you're thinking, who are the people that need these services? Where do they hang out in the real world? Where do they hang out online? How can I find them? How can I start conversations with them? And how can I get them to take the next step with me? So all the activity involved in that is called prospecting. So like I said, my sister-in-law tried to hook me up with a possible collaborator for my TV show. So that's prospecting, because I'm a consultant. I'm trying to get a show on the air. I need collaborators because this is going to be a two-way interview thing. So I need to find people who might be interested and who will be willing to put their faces on TV and see how we can use this for business development, on both ends. So that is prospecting. Then the third thing I mentioned, I think, is, age objections. Now, age objections, that's, first of all, objection, because objection is any reason that people give for not wanting to go ahead with the business, with the agenda, with the whatever. Now, some objections that people can give are actually age-related, and I've made a couple of episodes about that because, yes, not everybody starts business in their 30s or 40s or 50s. There are some of us who start doing wrong. Okay, well, not me anyway, because I started late. I started, I think I was already 30-something when I tried in the photography business. So, more like late 20s. So there's some people who, some of you who start, 15, 18, and it's a problem because some people look at you and like, you're an 18-year-old, what do you know? Those sorts of things. So those are age objections. So some of you face it. Sometimes it happens the other way around, that people think you are too old But either way, age objections, those are objections that also come up in business. So the circumstances that I faced today, got me thinking I might as well come over here on the microphone and then just speak real quick about how to handle age objections, because they happen for those of you who are very early in your career, and sometimes those of you who are late in your career. But in this part of the world, especially those of you who are early. And it's something I can testify to because, to be honest, I do not like baby doctors at all. So if I'm sitting down there in the room and then the doctor shows up and their face is babyish and they have pimples and, they look like they started university at 14 and they graduated at 19 and then now they're 20 years old, I don't like that. It just makes me uncomfortable. Yes, I know some of you will say that, Tavishima, that is very prejudiced. And I admit, yes, it is. But I'm just being honest. It makes me very uncomfortable. Like, I'm here, I have a serious health condition and, you're practically a baby. So can you please go away and let somebody more senior handle this issue? But by the way, I've never said that to anyone. And thank God I've never had any serious health concerns. Okay, there was that one time when I thought I had cancer of the how will I say it? There was one time I thought I had cancer of the Netherlands. Let me just put it that way. So I thought I had cancer of the Netherlands. And that is when this whole age thing came up. Because one of the consultants who was looking at my case then happened to be a baby doctor. And I won't lie, I was very uncomfortable. Like, this is a serious matter. This is cancer of the Netherlands. Am I supposed to trust my nether regions to the hand of this baby doctor? By the time they finish, if I wake up and I hear now that baby doctor, accidentally took away the whole package, like, what's going to happen now? Because I'm a young man and, I need my package. I can't be going through life packageless. So, yeah, that was one of those times when the age thing came up for me. But anyway, I've been running for too long, so let me just get straight down to business. Okay, first off, shout out to Jolayami. She's a listener of the show. She discovered it on Spotify. Well, he or she. I'm not even sure if Jolayami is a boy's name. Anyway, the only Jolayamis I know are girls. So she discovered the show on Spotify, particularly the episode where I spoke about dominating your backyard and making sure that you do lots of local marketing, because that's the way to get the business going. Now, she found the episode to be valuable, and she's one of those people who said she loves the background noise. She said that it is nice and subtle. And nice to hear that. So that means I can continue like this. But yes, there are some people who have said they don't like the noise. In fact, a client that I worked with last year in the solar space, he said he doesn't like the noise. But you guys just bear with me. Right now, I'm trying to prioritize making sure that the episodes drop when they are supposed to drop. So eventually, when I move to a bigger place, construct a studio, have production staff, things like that, then we can make things more nice and polished. So, like I said, today's episode is going to be a random episode. We're going to touch on things relating to referrals, relating to prospecting, and age objections. And that's because today I went to go and check out my sister-in-law. She works in the training institute in Abuja. And her boss, I've been thinking about having a conversation with her boss so that he can become a collaborator on the TV show that I'm working on. For those of you who've been listening to the podcast for a while, you already know that the radio show is up and running. Radio show is almost like 2 months old, and then I'm currently in talks for the TV show to come online as well, and I'll let you guys know how that works. The reason why I'm pursuing radio and television is because I believe that radio and television, old media, can also be used for business promotion. You can also use that to access markets. I'm not one of those who believes that everything has to be social media. So social media is really, really important, but old media still works as well. So TV and radio still works. Billboards, they still work. And I'll keep you guys updated about the progress I'm making on that front. So anyway, I got her the phone number for my sister-in-law's boss, and I sent a WhatsApp message ahead of time. Now, the reason why I did that is because people don't answer phones, especially in Nigeria. People don't answer phone numbers, that they don't have stored on their phones. That is just normal. And I think it's because in this part of the world, people are afraid of 419. So whenever I'm speaking in public events and I'm talking about how you use the phone to drum up business, some people say, hey, but people don't answer phones. This is the solution. And I'm going to say it here so that next time I run into one of you in person, none of you will tell me that people don't answer phones. The solution is not, okay, people are not answering phones, I won't make phone calls. No. The solution is send a message first. The person will see the message and get a sense of who you are, what the call is about, stuff like that. It increases the odds that somebody will answer. So the answer is not don't make calls. The answer is send a text message ahead of time, an SMS or a WhatsApp. Anyway, so I sent the message, but then the boss ignored. When I got to the office today, I figured out that, the boss ignored because there was 419. That one is just normal. Everybody's afraid of 419 these days because these WhatsApp 419 people, like, they are masterful. Because I heard that there's one way now that they scam people, that they'll send you a message, and if you make the mistake of replying that message, they will clone your number just by replying, not to talk of even clicking on a link. I don't know how this thing works. So there's now something on WhatsApp called, I think it's called two-factor verification or something. So if you have WhatsApp and you're using WhatsApp for business, please, as soon as you're done listening to this episode, go and do your two-factor authentication. Now what happens is whenever somebody tries to access your WhatsApp from someplace, the thing will now send you a message on your screen. It will now say security check, enter two-factor verification, something. Is it two-factor? Yeah, I think it's two-factor verification. So the thing will now ask you to enter a password that is 6 digits long. Now, some of you might think, I beg, is all this necessary? But look, let me not lie to you. Since I did this thing like last year, I have received that pop-up, I think, up to like 20 times. I'm serious. Up to like 20 times the thing has come up. I'm like, so somebody's trying to access my WhatsApp, as in a small boy like me, like I never hammer. Why are they trying to hack my stuff? In fact, that's the reason why I shut down my Facebook account. So anyway, go and set this thing up so that your WhatsApp is secure, so that people can't just hack your WhatsApp anyhow. Where was I? So the guy didn't answer now because that was the 419er. And by the time we showed up in the office, me, my sister-in-law, and him, and was just gished in. It turned out that I didn't mention in the text message who I got his number from, and that was the error. Because if he had seen that, I got your, well, let me not use her real name anyway. So if I put that, what's up? I got your number from Jacinta, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to buzz you. This is what I want us to talk about, that kind of thing. Then his mind would have been calm. Like, okay, it's from Jacinta. And then he would have seen her in the office and said, Jacinta, I received this text message. Then she would have said, hey, yeah, sure, that's my brother. It's my big brother. I say, okay, I know Wahala, no problem. And then I'd have called him and then would have had the conversation. But because I didn't drop her name now, when the message came in, the guy looked at it, the guy said, 419. And I told you that some of these things, once you just reply, like, you don't go calm, as in they'll hack your inbox. So he just saw it and he just ignored. So the key points that we can take for this episode, and this is where referrals comes in now. We need to learn how to work referrals in business. Lots of us get referrals. Remember, I said, for the purpose of this podcast, anytime you hear referral, it just means to hook up. So if you're hooking somebody up, it's a referral. If somebody's hooking you up, it's a referral. So when it comes to working referrals, always name drop. Always use the person's name, because it builds instant rapport. It builds instant familiarity. It builds instant comfort with the person. So always name drop. So like in this case, if I had sent the message and I said, hey bro, how you there? I got your number from Jacinta. I'm going to buzz you concerning this, that. What time works for you? His mind would have been calm. I was like, okay, Jacinta, my staff, cool babe, no wahala. The person that is calling me, he should be a cool person too. Would also give a sense of familiarity. Say, okay, Jacinta's brother. Oh, okay, no problem. His mind will calm down. You relax. You answer the call. You see? So always name drop when it comes to referrals. So, like back to the earlier example that I said, if you're trying to draw more business, you're new, you tell your friend, like, hey, bro, Shegun, I don't enter market, I've started this business, blah, blah, blah. I beg, any customers, and he gives you a couple of numbers. Let's say Shegun, your friend, gives you 5 numbers. As you call those people or as you message those people, the first thing you should say is, I got your number from Shegun Odegbami, something, blah, blah, blah. The person say, oh, Shegun, that idiot, how is he now? So, fine, blah, blah, blah. Oh, me and him were friends, something. Well, no problem. So, young man, how can I help you today? Then from there, you now enter the business conversation. So, always name drop. So, if your friend gives you contacts to call, drop your friend's name. If you're hooking up somebody to try and get them a piece of business, tell them that when you call, let them know that it is Emeka Nwokike that gave you the phone number. So when it comes to referrals, we must always name drop. If you do it, instant rapport with the other person, instant familiarity with the other person, instant calming down with the other person, because they will know that, okay, you come from a trusted source and this is not a 419er. Then, another thing I want to emphasize, send a text message before the call. Make sure the text message is engaging. Make sure you state the purpose of why you might be reaching out later on. And then, don't make the mistake I did. Name drop. And of course, confirm if the person is interested. Because that will let you know whether, because some people will look at it and say, oh, okay, thank you very much for reaching out, but actually I'm not interested or considering this at the time. Best of luck with your endeavors. If the person sends that kind of message, you now know that, okay, no need to call. But anyway, you never know. There might be room in the future. But where was I? Anyway, I'm just trying to say, confirm interest. That will let you know whether you should move ahead or not. Because some people will say, oh no, currently not interested, currently not looking, best of luck with your endeavors. You now leave that person. Another person will say, oh, okay, that sounds interesting, but don't call me before 3 o'clock because I'm busy. You see? Now you know that, okay, I'm supposed to call this person after 3 o'clock. And if you keep doing this, then the percentage of answered calls will now go up. If you have this thing of sending an SMS before time. Now, another tip is optimize your WhatsApp profile. Your profile should say who you are, what you do, why you're safe to talk to, blah, blah, blah. Because there's some people that I send this message and I forget to name drop. But at least they click on my profile and then they see that, okay, this guy looks like he's a reasonable somebody. And then when I call, we have the conversation. And then they say, oh, by the way, how did you get my phone number? And now I say, oh, okay, I got it from Kunle Adigun. You say, Kunle, you didn't say it now. I say, oh, sorry, I should have mentioned. Yeah, I forgot. And then we have the conversation. But now, another thing that I want to point out, and the main reason that I want you guys to take from all this is, see, some of you are hard on yourselves. People forget. I have this podcast. I talk about sales. I've been talking about sales and sales tactics and techniques for the last 5-ish years. It's been over 1,050 episodes. And even I, from time to time, I forget to name drop when I get a referral. So if people like me who do this for a living forget to apply tactics, even you, if you forget once in a while, don't be too hard on yourself. We all forget. It's normal. When you forget, just take dressing and try your best to never forget again. That is why early on, I recommend that people have a framework that is written out. Because if you have the framework, you make sure that you don't forget. Because you'll be looking at the framework and following the elements. But I've been doing this for a while now where the frameworks are internalized. But like I said, once in a while I forget. So it's okay if you forget. Don't beat yourself up about it too much. So that's on the whole referrals thing. And the angle now for prospecting is this. Sometimes when you're looking, who might be interested in my product or my service, this thing that I'm working on, who is a collaborator, who is a stakeholder, who is a this, how can I get them on board, how can I get them interested, how can I sell to them? Sometimes you know who the person is, and sometimes one way of getting there is to use referrals, is to use people close to them, or to use a warm introduction. That is also a good way of prospecting, because conversations are a whole lot easier when we add a touch of familiarity to it. So if somebody who knows you and who knows the other person is making an introduction, it might make it easier to have that business conversation. So that is the tip for prospecting today. Just try and make it warm. Try and see how you can introduce some mutual connections. Like there's some people that I reach out to online. I noticed that they went to OAU or something like that, and that's the way I start that conversation. Like I just, greatest if great, you went to OAU? Yes, I did. When did you graduate? Well, I graduated in 2005. Person say, you're an embryo. Me, I graduated in 1981. And yes, that has happened. Excuse me, that has actually happened to me before. I noticed somebody was an OAU graduate. So I entered the guy's office. I was like, great if I say, great. I said, what year did you graduate? I said, I graduated 2005. And he said, hey, me, I graduated in 1981. I'm sure you are not even born then. And, we laughed over it. But you can see that, that commonality, just mellow everything down a bit so that you guys can, you talk personal, build some rapport first before you enter into business. So that's the angle on business. Oh, sorry, one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Another notification came through on my phone. Just wanted to be sure it was not something that I have to deal with urgently. Let's see what else. Okay, that's prospecting. Age objections. Now, this is the reason why I now remembered age objections. Is because my sister-in-law, she's a young girl. She's in her 20s, 30s. And I don't know, Sha, but I don't think she's up to 32, Sha. And let's just say 28, 31. Okay. So, and like I said, she's an instructor in that school. Now, when I entered the classroom, she told her students to greet me, and then, they all greeted me, good afternoon, sir, blah, blah, blah. And the first thing I noticed is, there's some mature women in this class, like 40s and 50s. And so it's something I had a conversation with her, like compared to your students, like you're younger, has it been a problem? She said, that Uncle T has been a serious problem. I said, okay, so how did you deal with it? She just said, look, I just had to put my foot down. And there was one person in particular that she said, how can you ask me to wash plates? And so she had to tell the lady that, look, I'm here. I'm your instructor. And yes, I'm younger than all of you. Some of you here are old enough to be my mother. But I'm the one who has the expertise. And I'm the one who has the knowledge. So me saying that you should wash plates, it's not as if I'm trying to lord it over you. It's because here, all of us in the kitchen, there's nobody that'll be washing for us. When you finish and you start the business or you start working in somebody's kitchen, you will have to be cleaning up as you go. And if this is going to be a problem, if my age is going to be a problem, then it's either you leave the class or me, I will leave the class. And the other woman started to provoke, but then the other classmates told the woman that, look, madam, just pipe down. Let's do our business and let us leave. If it is this much of an issue, you can leave the class. Because this instructor, she's not going anywhere. And she said that that's how she has handled it. She's had to be firm. And it's something that I've spoken about over here on the podcast. Now, whenever somebody's looking at you because you're too small, just simply restate your expertise. And then after that, confirm if the age is going to be a deal breaker. Because there are some people who age is a deal breaker. Like for me, back when I had the cancer of the Netherlands issue, I won't lie, I wasn't very comfortable. But once I saw the senior consultant, my mind calmed down. Like, okay, at least there's a grown-up here in the operating room. It's not as if I wake up and see that they have, taken away several inches. So, but you have to ask the person, because if it is a deal breaker, it is a deal breaker and there is nothing you can do about it. It's shocking for some of you to hear. This one is not age, this one is tribe. But back when I was selling insurance, there's a lady who said that she could tell that things were not quite working out. And so she asked the guy up front that, look, bros, it looks like you're not comfortable with me. It looks like you're not comfortable with me, that, clearly there's a problem. So, like, what's the problem? And then the guy was like, my sister, you're correct. The thing is, I can't do business with Igbo people. And she said, He said, yes, I will not do business with an Igbo person. And so she asked, okay, no problem. So if I was to bring one of my Yoruba colleagues to you right now, does that mean you will sign this contract? The guy said, oh, yes. If you bring a Yoruba person, I'll sign this contract. He said, okay, no problem, sir. Let me take care of that. And then she left the office. She put out the call to somebody in the office. Hey, Bayo, what's up? This person I've been working on. This is the stage. We've agreed every. But he says he needs a Yoruba person to come in before we can sign this contract. So how far? Will you come in, I beg, and help me push this thing over the line? When we're done, I'll give you XXX%. Bayo said, okay, no problem. So Bayo came in and then closed the deal, and then that was that. Now, I'm not condoning that we should... I'm not suggesting that we should condone all these sorts of things. Tribalism or ageism, as people put it these days. Tribe and age and sex and these sorts of things. I'm not trying to say we should condone that. And you'll find that some offices have very, very, very strong policies towards this. There are some businesses that have very strong policies that, look, if you are face-to-face with a client and this happens, just get up and leave. We want the money, but we don't want the money that bad that we have to subject you to this kind of abuse. But what I'm just trying to say is, excuse me, call it out, and at least you know what it is you're supposed to do. So this lady, she called it out, and she knew that, okay, the fact that she's Igbo is a problem. So, excuse me. And so she now knew the next step. Okay, go and get a Yoruba person from the office. So in this case, if age is a deal breaker, call it out and call the person's bluff. Because the thing is, if it's a problem now, it will always be a problem. It is better for you to call it out now than for the thing to now surface later and start giving you all kinds of problems. If it's a problem now, it will always be a problem and it's not going to go away. So restate your expertise and then call the person's bluff. Ask if it is a deal breaker. So, okay, sorry, I understand that you're uncomfortable, blah, 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 because yes, I'm a young surgeon. Is that going to be a problem? If the person says, yes, I'll be much more comfortable if we have a senior surgeon around. So, okay, no problem, sir. Let me just go and check if the head of so and so is around. Maybe he can come and have a conversation with you. Would that make you more comfortable? Oh, yes, that would. Okay, one moment, sir. Just wait here. And then you go off and you look for the senior consultant. So I'm not saying that you should condone people looking down on you as a baby doctor. But I'm just saying, at least if you call out the bluff, you now know what the next steps are. So like in my sister-in-law's case, like, look, I'm the instructor. I'm the one with the expertise. Yes, I'm younger than all of you, but I'm the one who has this relevant experience that we're all here to learn from. So if this thing is going to be an issue, the only two options are you either leave the class or me, I will leave the class. So what's it going to be? So for those of you who are facing age objections, I've made lots of episodes about it, and that's one way that you can deal with it. I think the last time I made an episode on age objections, the guy is a realtor, and he's still in uni. So at that time, the guy hadn't even clocked 20 yet. So people were kind of uncomfortable talking real estate, talking millions and millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions with somebody that is not even growing mustache and beer. So some people were uncomfortable about that. So it's unfortunate. Well, it's just one of those things. If you're talking tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, maybe like catering or wedding photography, and the fact that the person is a small boy won't be a problem. But then by the time you're talking about building selling a whole office complex building, and it looks like this guy just started puberty yesterday, and the value of the contract is 100M or something like that. It's just normal that some people will get uncomfortable. So restate your expertise, call it out, know if it's a deal breaker, you will know what the next step is. So that's all for today's random episode. Now, if you'd like to connect with me for a strategy session, for a business audit, or you have questions you'd like for me to answer, the number to hit me up on is 080-6466-2140. The country code is +234 for those of you who are not Nigerian. That's my WhatsApp number as well. And remember, please, for those of you who use WhatsApp for business purposes, in fact, for those of you who are listening to this podcast, even if your WhatsApp is still personal purposes, I beg, go and do that two-factor whatever that thing is called. Go and check security settings. That thing will really save you. Because yourself, you'll be surprised how sometimes when they put up that two-factor thing, it's just a random check to make sure you're still in control of your phone. But you'll be surprised how many times that thing comes up, meaning that people are actually trying to hack into your WhatsApp. So please go and protect your WhatsApps. Then you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. The name to look for is Tavishima Ayede. I have a YouTube channel of the same name as well, Tavishima Ayede. So thank you very much for your time and your attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.